Norman Smith. He was born in Gympie in 1895, joined in 1916. He was put in the mining corps because he was a hairdresser. Doesn't make sense at all, does it, when you consider that 38% of the mining corps were ex-miners? Probably he thought initially that that was the way he wouldn't get on the front. I don't know. He was quite short by our standards, but 5'6", very small in size, 54 kilos, and he was able to crawl in amongst the tunnels, and it was extremely dangerous work because the Germans could break through and there could be a hand-to-hand fight in an extremely confined place, and sometimes there'd be cave-ins, water would come in. It was in an area that was extremely chalky and watery, very, very dangerous work. He contracted bronchitis in 1917. He was so sick, he was repatriated to England, and that's where he went AWOL a couple of times. He'd been in terrible circumstances in virtually a mine, and I think that was a way of, once he was well, he wanted to enjoy himself. He didn't go AWOL for very long, just a few hours. Then he was actually absent from the line for 10 months because of his illness. And this is when he went back and he got trench fever from the lice and the filthy conditions the men were living in, and not bathing and not getting regular changes of uniform. But then he was ordered to rejoin his company, and this is when he went with the other two sappers and he disappeared. And somehow or other he got separated from them, but the other sappers testified that he only had 4 drinks of alcohol. He probably went to a pub and he got drunk and he tried to make his way back to the railway yard, which is very close to the river, and he just fell in. He was actually missing, I think, for about 3 weeks before his body was found. So it's hard to tell if he'd been in the water all that time or he had been holed out somewhere enjoying himself. He was found fully clothed, with not a mark on him, no injuries, but he was in a state of decomposition, but there was nothing to suggest foul play. Eventually, his possessions were all returned to his parents, but they really didn't know what had happened to him until about 1919. The true circumstances will never be known, but he was actually listed as killed in action, so that the family was spared any sorrow of him maybe committing suicide.